The five functions of packaging are firstly to protect the product. There are things packaged like glass bottles or even some plastics. You want to protect from breakage, you want to protect them sometimes from theft. A box or a carton shouldn't be easily openable when it's on a shelf. Preservation is another one. Pretty much all pharma products expire. There are things in the environment that are going to make them expire faster or somehow degrade, things like humidity, light, air exposure, exposure to oxygen. One of the ways you know how long your product will last is you actually put it in the packaging and then you run a study called a stability study where you actually are determining your expiration date based on how quickly the product degrades. Next, promotion, and that includes things like colors, certain text, information about what the product does. In pharma, that's a similar application, but of course, you're not competing with highlighted colors and fancy pictures. It's more of a toned down version, but it's clearly explaining what the product is, how it works, what its concentration and fill volume are. Those are pretty critical items for a pharma product and its packaging. Next would be to inform. That means to inform the end user or a caregiver on what the product does or some of its warnings, indications, side effects. Another part of the inform part of packaging is to provide essentials required by the FDA. Those are things like the NDC number or National Drug Code, the concentration, the fill volume, the drug name, and any specific warnings. In other words, if it has an overdose side effect or an underdose issue, you want those to be prevalent on the packaging. The pharma industry does use a lot of color and different standardized methods for indicating concentration. Finally, containing the drug or the product for the supply chain. A typical package needs to be robust to contain the product, but it also needs to be efficient. One of the big things in pharma and in hospitals and drugstores is how well does the container or the package store on a shelf or via the supply chain. You don't want a package that's much bigger than your product, so it's wasting space all the way to the end user. So you want the package to be nice and tight around the product, but still provide enough protection to it so that when product is put on a shelf for sale, or if it's in a pharmacy to be prescribed out, it takes up minimal space, but it does still need, of course, to provide all the right information, inform the patient, and provide all the right regulation in terms of a text on the packaging.